Are we live? Not coming up, but I'm just going to assume we're live. Oh, yeah, 13, 14, 15 seconds. Okay. Doesn't tell me at first. It just looks like it's going to start, but it didn't. Oh, look at there. There is a notification. All right, well, anyway, nevertheless, we are live on this Tuesday, April 11th, 2023, and it is 9:40 p.m. It was the most beautiful day out today. Unbelievable. I can't believe it's short sleeve weather, shorts, and there's snowbanks all over. It's crazy. But I love it. I got my barn cleaned up and all the trash the cats tore up, put away, and cleaned up from the winter, and super duper happy. Anyway, awesome. Really happy. So I hope you all had a wonderful day also. Um, I'm just having a great time being outside all day again. Finally. uh Anyway, so as you can see by the title, we are starting Daniel chapter 1 and 2 tonight. Two interesting, well, every chapter of Daniel is interesting. It is very interesting. And anyway, so that's what we're going to do tonight. Chapters 1 and 2. Chapter 1, obviously, they're getting taken out of. I'm tired. Taken out of Babylon. I'm sorry, Babylon. It brings the people from Jerusalem, such as Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, but they had different names back then. But anyway, they brought them into captivity into Babylon, which was prophesied by the prophet Jeremiah, and that's why they knew what they're coming up against. So anyway, that's what we're starting tonight. Book of Daniel. I think there's 12 chapters, and my cat's coming here just on right on cue. Right on cue. They gotta come up and jump on my desk. So maybe because I'm talking. I talk to the dogs, but now they think I'm talking. Here she is. Anyway, hi cat. Actually, two of the cats went outside today. They went right outside the door, but then wanted to come back. They don't want to get stuck out there in the snowbank, so. But they did have fun right outside the door in this sunny, beautiful, warm weather. So anyway, me, the dogs, the cats, we all had fun today because it was beautiful. Pretty much spent all day outside till just now. And now the stray wild cats are out eating. It was so funny. Um, I clipped the fence on kind of tight so they can't push it open, my gate, to get in here. And I figured they'd just jump it. It's only like 3 or 4 feet tall. Anyway, the cat looked and looked and was wagging his tail and trying to figure it out. And I figured it would just jump it, but the cat climbed the chain link fence like a salamander. It's funny. I was gonna videotape it. I should have, but they'll be back. That's the first one. Anyway, uh, so that was pretty funny. So bunkering down, chapter 1 of Daniel. Oh, I'm sorry, chapter 1 and 2. Not real long, but a lot of jam-packed information. The strangest thing happened to well, to somebody I know, and I was there. Anyway, so tomorrow's going to be a very interesting day because of what happened. So anyway, I'll fill you in tomorrow. I don't want to say anything now, but just the strangest thing happened. Yeah. Anyway, so I have a cat trying to rub on my hands and everything else. What are you doing here? All right, cat. She's all cuddly all of a sudden. Yeah. Yeah. Would you like to tell everybody why you want to interrupt? Huh? What would you like, huh? Would you like to tell everybody what you're doing? Hmm? Godzilla? She wants to be petted. Oh, kitty, 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 kitty. Yeah, she's here you gotta go, man. You gotta go. Yeah. All right. All right. So these animals get out of hand. They know I'm on here, so they just gotta go crazy. So anyway, so that's the plan, Stan. Yeah, just the weirdest thing happened. So anyway, I'll tell you guys about it tomorrow when it's over. Well, hopefully it'll be over tomorrow. Oh man, it has to do with the police, you guys. Anyway, so I have to go. We have to go talk to the police tomorrow. Hey, Dee and Grace, you guys must have drove in together. I'm outside. We'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, enjoy. The wonderful, beautiful weather. Hey, Grace, how you doing? Shalom to you too, and green salutations. I hope you had a beautiful, wonderful day. Yep, I was like a kid, man. I didn't want to come in all day till just now. Oh, it was so nice being outside. I got my trailer filled and ready to go to the dump and all covered and ready to go and swept up my garage because from the winter and stuff. I'm listening in while on a walk. I'll chat when I get back. Hi, Dee. All right, Grace. Well, thanks for being here. And Dee also. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I'm going to videotape our interaction tomorrow. So that's going to be maybe I'll show you guys. So strange. But anyway, so very interesting book of Daniel. Have you guys ever watched on YouTube? There is a Book of Daniel movie, and I mean, but they don't. It's not like the gospel movies where they go word for word, and even that they take liberties. Oh man, oh boy. Anyway, but it is kind of interesting movie, but it's and I can't remember who stars in it. It's kind of Hollywood, but anyway, it is interesting when they are you get the gist of it, you know what I mean? you get the gist of it. It's really cool. It starts out when they get brought into Babylon. I mean, it does go chapter by chapter. It's just not word for word, but you get the gist of the story. And I like when the three boys are brought in, and Daniel might have still been with them then. Anyway, they brought in the king's meat, and they didn't want to eat of it because it was in the movie. It was a big pig's head, with an apple in the mouth. I think I can't remember, but it was just disgusting. And the boys didn't want to eat it. And then I remember they were told it's going to be 70 years in captivity because the prophet Jeremiah said so. He prophesied. In fact, I'm going to show the timeline because right before this happens, I don't know like exactly how many years, but I'll show the timeline. Not too long before it happens, the prophet Jeremiah did. I think it was Jeremiah did. Almost 100%. He's the one that prophesied that they'd be brought into captivity in Babylon, and it would be for 70 years. And these boys are young. And so when Babylon took over Jerusalem the first time and destroyed the temple, they also took like the goblets, the things that are supposed to be sacred in the temple, like the goblets and probably everything, the candle holders, whatever. But anyway, the only people that they took into captivity were the brightest and the leaders. Because can you imagine going into a country or maybe a city? Because it was Jerusalem. So imagine going into a city. Welcome back, Dee. Imagine going into a city to take over the city. All you have to do is remove all their leaders, all their brightest people, and their the leaders, their business owners, just the ones that run the place, all the vital people, highly educated people. Well, then you're left with just a society that collapses anyway by itself. Could you imagine if they took everybody and only left the people who are just parasites on everybody? You know what I mean? You know what? I saw a video today. I was trying to find long videos because when I work anywhere inside or outside, I'd like to put on something really long with no commercials because I hate that one. Trying to do something and there's a commercial and then another commercial. But anyway, a really short video came up, but I watched it real quick. It was that lady's channel. I can't remember her name. I don't know why I can't remember her name or her channel, but anyway, she was talking about the workers in the vineyard. I mean, no, the day laborers. I mean, not the workers. She was talking about the story about the day laborers, the ones who were they went to go find work and weren't hired, so they were standing around. And anyway, later later in the day he found more, and then later in the day he found more, and even the last hour he found, and then he ended up paying everybody the same. Remember that? She had a really clear and obvious meaning to that story, that because what you hear in church is it doesn't matter if you serve God your whole life, or even on your deathbed, you confess and then you serve God, or confess Jesus as your Lord or whatever. So everybody gets the same reward. You remember that story? Okay. So in that story, at the end of the day, the guy that came in, the people that came in just the last hour, or even for 2 hours or 3 hours, got paid just as much as the people who were there from the beginning all day. And then the people that were there all day said, "Hey, why are they getting paid the same? We were here and we bore the heat of the day, and we worked all day for this money. Why are they getting the same?" And he said, "What are you, mad because of my generosity?" Well, I mean, they want you to think that that's what it's about, that, oh boy, the ones that been there all day get paid the same as the ones that they're in the last. So that means, if you serve Jesus your whole life, or even accept him on your deathbed, you'll all get the same reward. No, that's not what it's about. That's what your church tells you. And we all hear that from our churches or whatever, from each other. But really what the meaning is you have to understand, like she said, think of it at the of being back then, living back then, or even now. But these are people who are day laborers. Okay, what are those? Well, it's like going to a top temporary a job agency. So you go in the morning, and I've been to these places back when I was really young. So you get there really early in the morning, and as the work comes in, they send people out. Well, there's only so many jobs, and then everybody else just waits there and waits and waits, hoping that there's going to be work. And then, so you can spend all day waiting for somebody to hire you. Well, and just think of it from their point of view. These are people who show up in the morning because they need money. They probably have a family. They have a wife. They have kids. They need food. They need all kinds of things. So the husband goes out in the morning and he sits at these places all day hoping for work. Because if he doesn't get a day's wage and he goes home, nobody's going to eat. And so I think of it from their point of view. They came to get whole day's worth of wages. It's not because they were there late or they didn't feel like. No, they showed up when everybody else did. They just didn't get picked. There's only so many jobs, only so many people get picked, and everybody else is just out of luck. So imagine these people like, oh man, I only had hours worth of work. I can't go home with the hours worth of pay. But so the master, the man who is hiring, is being nice. He's being kind, and he's going to let these people go home with the whole, even though they only worked 1 hour or 2 or 3 hours, not as long as everybody else, but they're still going to go home with a whole day's wage, because that's what they waited all day for. They were there trying to work. They're trying to work. They were there waiting for work. And from no fault of their own were they not working. So just so they could go home with the whole day's wage, the boss gives them the whole day's wage. And the others got mad. So anyway, it's a totally different way to think of it from the worker's point of view. I mean, the day laborer's point of view. Because it never said it was about. Anyway, it never said what the church is telling you. That was about dying on your deathbed or serving them your whole life. It's the same. I don't know. I don't even know if that would be even necessarily true. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure, I don't know. I'm pretty sure your life, you get rewarded. To me, I believe that during your life, when you do good things, you get rewarded. It seems like it works for me. So anyway, you guys, I had another barbecue, me and the dogs, and I tried this new thing that so last year I did a job at, I emptied out, me and some people emptied out a condo. The lady had passed away, and then she had a garage, like a row of garages. One of the garages was hers, so then we had to empty that out. Anyway, and it was pouring rain that day. It just sucked. But anyway, she was somebody that bought and bought and bought, like she liked shopping. And she actually had several shopping bags and I just saw one the other day. But she had several shopping bags with the name biologist. Not like a marine biologist or a, human biologist or whatever. A biologist, like B-U-Y, B-U-Y-ologist, like an one who is studying buying. Anyway, the lady had tons of stuff, and I've seen this so many times, it's sad. But the lady but she passed away. She didn't lose her house. But this time. But anyway, but she had so many things that were brand new with the tags on it. Okay. They like to buy things. Then like after they buy something, then like the high is over. So they just like bring it home and like throw it down and throw it in the closet, throw it in the basement, whatever. Anyway, so I got tons of stuff out of her apartment or her condo, whatever it was. It felt like apartment, but anyway, I guess it was a condo. But anyway, when I was doing my garage sale last year, I was emptying out the boxes that we got from that job. And there was some really cool things that I got. And one of the things was for barbecuing. And it folds out. Now, actually, I'll show you. I won't show you the thing, but I'll show you. So anyways, brand new. Still had the tags on it. She never used it, but it was for cooking. And I'll show you real quick. It was the coolest thing. So I tried it, and it worked. You'd hang chicken legs on it. I'll show you. It worked really good. I even have a picture. I might have. Anyway. Let's see if you can see this. So anyway, I tried it out today, and it folds up. I don't know if you can see it. It goes on your barbecue grill, and the chicken legs hang on it. Can you see? The chicken legs hang on it. You just pop them in there, and they hang, and they cook. It was the coolest thing. I got a picture of it. Worked really good. Anyway, that was fun. Oh, I got it. Let's see, somehow get the color. There it goes. Sometimes the color goes all blue on this thing. Anyway, so that was fun because I got a bunch of chicken legs on sale. Guess how much it was? It was 79 cents a pound for chicken legs. So I got like 20 pounds. Mostly for the dogs. Actually, that was for the dogs. They had the chicken legs. I actually had a hamburger on the grill myself. Those are their chicken legs. So they had chicken legs. I had to, after they were cooked, I scraped the meat off the bones and put it over their food. They liked it. Who wouldn't, right? And I had a cheeseburger on the grill. And it was delicious. All right, so I'll pray us in and we'll start. We'll start the book of Daniel. Hopefully, something like that. All right, Heavenly Father, thank you for this wonderful day and providing us all that we need. We ask for wisdom and understanding as we read Daniel. We thank you for the gathering. We ask for your blessing on this gathering. Praise be to you. Amen and amen. All right. All right. So here's the statue, the top of them anyway, from the waist up. Gold head. Imagine how much that's worth now. Gold is just a little nugget. It's really a tiny little chip. Chip is worth a lot of money. Gold head, silver upper body. Silver is not worth very much. I have a lot of I have gold and silver, but I've gotten a lot of rid of a lot of the gold. I don't even wear jewelry, but I do sell it. But I'm telling you, silver, even the 925 that I got. It's weird because I got some silver out of Israel. It's sold over there, and it's like I got some jewelry from over there, and it's a way different color of silver. It's got like a gold tone to it, and it said 925, which everything is 925. This is a different percentage. I don't remember what it is, but I've never seen the percentage change on jewelry, but it's a little higher percentage. I think I can't remember. But anyway, very strange looking, but silver, not worth much. Silver is not worth very much, even if it's pure. And back when I was in high school, when I ordered my class ring, silver and gold rings were the same price. You could get solid silver or solid gold. Same price. So I got gold. But yeah, back in the 70s, it was the same price almost. Now it's miles apart. All right, so let's look at a couple things. Here's another part. Well, here's the statue. Hope you can see that. The statue that we're going to hear of, chapter 2. The head of gold from Babylon. That's Babylon. 612 to 539. Breasts of arms in silver. Medo-Persia. 539 to 331 BC. Thighs of brass represents Greece. The Greek from 331 to 168 BC. Then you got the legs of iron, which is Rome, 168 BC to 476 AD. You know what? I think Rome has just always been in control. I mean, yeah, and we do have a divided kingdom now, but you know what this is? We are here. You notice this? You notice it happens to be this is United Nations, if you ask me, my opinion. Iron and clay is a divided kingdom. We are here. I mean, look at they got all the flags down here, every flag in the world. Anyway, so I think we went from Rome, and I think Rome kind of still is in control. I don't think Rome ever fell. It doesn't seem. Seems like they've conquered the world with Christianity, like they said they were going to. But yeah, so here we are from 476 AD on. And yeah, probably the New World Order is what we're looking at here. United Nations, the UN. Which actually, once they get rid of once they get rid of I was just thinking about something, but once they get rid of all that was in the Georgia Guidestones. It said they're going to get rid of all the police and everything. That's why they're defund. That's why they're getting rid of police. It was part of the plan, the Georgia Guidestones, and have the United Nations run everything. That's why they're not prosecuting crimes anymore. They're letting people just walk out of the store with anything under $1,000. They don't get prosecuted. They don't get chased. You know what? Minneapolis just passed a law last week. Or I don't know what happened, but anyway, the chief of police, they keep changing, so I don't know who it is. I don't know what his name is. Some guy now. But the chief of police, wherever it was, I think it was Minneapolis. But anyway, Minnesota here. They just got some kind of an order or a law or a rule or something, but they just got told, the police got told that juveniles cannot be charged when they steal a car because they're tired of these kids stealing cars and wrapping them around poles and killing everybody in their path and killing themselves and killing people in the car. And we have had a lot of deaths like that happen. So anyway, you can't chase them anymore. You can't prosecute them. And my first question is, how do you know that's a child? How does the police know that's a child driving that stolen car? You know what I mean? Anyway, can't prosecute the juveniles anymore because they don't want them running. Anyway, I'm telling you, it's all going to that, defund the police. And just have the UN take over. So they'll just be like soldiers with white helmets all over the place, just like Star Wars. All right. Anyway, so here's the map, or I should say a timeline more than a map. Here's a timeline all the way up to 400 BC. From 950 BC, that goes way back, all the way back to Solomon. Anyway, so the northern southern kingdoms here, Judah alone. Okay, so you get the point up here. So anyway, here's Egypt, Egyptians, Assyria, Babylon, and Persia. These are the empires or whatever, kingdoms. All right, so here we are. We're in Daniel right here. So see, we're right here in Daniel. They're going to get brought into captivity tonight. And this was told by the prophet Jeremiah, who wrote Jeremiah and Lamentations. But anyway, Daniel knows when it happens that they're going to be there 70 years because prophet Jeremiah said so. All right, let me see if I can. Kind of coming up blue. Yeah, it's coming up blue. So, so in Jeremiah, I do have it. Jeremiah, there. This is Bible track. Oh, I was gonna show you. I forgot. I was gonna show you on them pictures of the so I just put in King Neb statue, NEB, King Neb statue, and what they'll show you. In fact, I gotta do it. I should have taken it down, but here, King. Yeah, just what I did. King Neb statue. Look what comes up. What will come up when you hit images over here is they equate this last part here. I'm going to show you like half of these. I didn't write nothing about Jesus, nothing about nothing. But anyway, a lot of times they'll put this. The Daniel 2 is times of the Gentiles. Look. And then they'll say approximately right here where Christ is. He's on the rock. So this part, his little feet are the Christ part. I don't know how they got that. But it's not like, this is not like one guy who's out of his mind. No, they're all over. I'll show you. Modern powers, that's a good word for it. I'm dreaming about it. Anyway. Oh, look at the statue. Oh, so I bet it's a balloon they're airing up. Oh, heck no. Did they put up a giant statue somewhere? Anyway. But anyway. They will say that is his feet are the time of the Gentiles. And he never said nothing like that. His feet are not the Gentiles, and the feet are anyway. Like here's another one right here. Look, Daniel 2 statue comes with the rock Jesus. Look, he's got leopard. He's got spotted feet. That's weird. Anyway, here's another one. See, they're equating they equate Jesus with the feet and the rock or something. And you can buy that on eBay. Alright. Anyway. Yeah, we did that. Oops. It's kind of a weird color. Alright. So we're in 2. We're gonna go back to 1. Because that's where we're starting. Number 1. Now hopefully it's not a weird blue here. Let me see if I can. Sometimes if I like, oops. Come on, man. Sometimes if I like adjust the color, like tell the camera that this is the color, and then I quick go over here, sometimes it tricks it. And sometimes it doesn't. Alright. Hopefully you can see it. Alright. Yeah, sometimes you can kind of reset. It's kind of like resetting the color. So anyway, here we are in chapter 1 of Daniel when they're taken into captivity. Oh, as a matter of fact, taken into Babylon. So this is also in 2 Kings 24, 10-17. At that time, the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up to Jerusalem, and the city was besieged. So you can also see, and Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to the city while his servants were besieging it. And Joachim, the king of Judah, gave himself up to the king of Babylon, himself and his mother and his servants and his officials and his palace officials. The king of Babylon took prisoner in the 8th year of his reign and carried off all the treasures of the house of the Lord. Anyway, you can read that. That is in, kind of fills in a little bit of the gaps here. Again, 2 Kings 24, 10-17. You can read about that. Looks like 7 chapters. 8 verses. All right. So, over here. All right. Daniel chapter 1, verse 1. In the 3rd year of the reign of Joachim, king of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem and besieged it. And the Lord gave Joachim, king of Judah, into his hand with some of the vessels of the house of God. And he brought them to the land of Shinar, to the house of his God, in place of vessels in the treasury of his God. Then the king commanded Aspenaz, his chief eunuch, to bring some of the people of Israel, both of the royal family and of the nobility. So both of the seed of the kingdom. So the king is commanding these people to be sieged. Commanded Asa, his chief eunuch, to bring some of the people of Israel, both of the royal family, and of the nobility. youths without blemish, of good appearance, and skillful in all wisdom. So the smart and good looking, endowed with knowledge, understanding, learning, and competent to stand in the king's palace and to teach them the literature and the language of the Chaldeans. The king assigned them a daily portion of the food that the king ate and of the wine that he drank. They were to be educated for 3 years, and at the end of that time, they were to stand before the king. Among these were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah of the tribe of Judah. And the chief of the eunuchs gave them names. Daniel he called Belshazzar. Hananiah he called Shadrach. Mishael he called Meshach. And Azariah he called Abednego. Next, Daniel's faithfulness. But Daniel resolved that he would not defile himself with the king's food and with the wine that he drank. Therefore he asked the chief of the eunuchs to to allow him not to defile himself. And God gave Daniel favor and compassion in the sight of the chief of the eunuchs. And the chief of the eunuchs said to Daniel, quote, I fear my lord the king, who assigned your food and your drink. For why should we see that you are in worse condition than the youths who are of your own age? So you would endanger my head with the king. Then Daniel said to the steward, whom the chief of the eunuchs had assigned over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, quote, test your servants for 10 days. Let us be given vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then let our appearance and the appearance of the youths who eat the king's food be observed by you, and deal with your servants according to what you see. So he listened to them in this matter and tested them for 10 days. At the end of the 10 days, it was seen that they were better in appearance and fatter in flesh than all the youths who ate the king's food. So the steward took away their food and the wine they were to drink and gave them vegetables. As for these 4 youths, God gave them learning and skill in all literature and wisdom. And Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. At the end of the time, when the king had commanded that they should be brought in, the chief of the eunuchs brought them in before Nebuchadnezzar. The king spoke to them, and among all of them, none was found like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore they stood before the king. And in every manner of wisdom and understanding about which the king inquired of them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and enchanters that were in all his kingdom. And Daniel was there until the first year of King Cyrus. Isn't that Trump? Just kidding. Just kidding. Oh, wait till he comes back. This has been a long 4 years, it seems like, since he's been gone. All right. And the second and last one for tonight is chapter 2. And this one's a little longer, actually. Let me just double check. And this all right, it's a lot longer. 49 verses. Okay. Anyway. We can do it. Where are we at? Excuse me. All right, so now we're at Nebuchadnezzar's dream. You know, every chapter's got so much in this book. That's another reason we're only doing 2 chapters a night, because every chapter's got a lot going on in Daniel. All right. Make sure you guys can see that. All right. Nebuchadnezzar's dream. This is chapter 2. In the 2nd year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar had dreams. His spirit was troubled, and his slept left him. And the king commanded that the magicians, the enchanters, the sorcerers, and the Chaldeans be summoned to tell the king his dreams. So they came in and stood before the king. And the king said to them, I had a dream, and my spirit is troubled to know the dream. Then the Chaldeans said to the king in Aramaic, it always goes off the page, these footnotes. The text from this point to the end of chapter 7 is in Aramaic. Huh, interesting. All right. Well, there you go. That's a lot, you guys. That's 5 chapters, the next 5 chapters. Yeah, next 5 chapters was written in Aramaic. My connection dropped a couple miles back. Would you mind repeating it? No problem. Because I remember everything I said. Well, welcome back. I really couldn't even tell you what I said. We went over some stuff. Luckily, it's all recorded. Well, welcome back. All right. But we're only in chapter 2, so you didn't really miss too much. Chapter 1, you know, they get brought out of, taken out of Jerusalem and brought into captivity to Babylon. And spoiler alert. And now we're in chapter 2, where he has the dream. I'll do that. Yeah, don't worry about it. It is. Let's center this thing again. All right. We're glad you're back. Let's see here. All right. This is where King Nebi has his dream. All right. And the king said to them, I had a dream, and my spirit is troubled to know the dream. Then the Chaldeans said to the king in Aramaic, which everything is going to be spoken in Aramaic for the next 5 chapters to chapter 7. All right, then the Chaldeans said to the king in Aramaic, O king, live forever. Tell your servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation. The king answered and said to the Chaldeans, quote, the word from me is firm. If you do not make known to me the dream and its interpretation, you shall be torn limb from limb, and your houses shall be laid in ruins. That's no pressure, is it? But if you show the dream and its interpretation, you shall receive from me gifts and rewards and great honor. Therefore, show me the dream and its interpretation. They answered a second time and said, let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will show its interpretation. The king answered and said, I know with certainty that you're trying to gain time, because you see that the word from me is firm. If you do not make the dream known to me, there is but one sentence for you. You have agreed to speak lying and corrupt words before me till the times change. Therefore, tell me the dream, and I shall know that you can show me its interpretation. The Chaldeans answered the king and said, there is not a man on earth who can meet the king's demand, for no great and powerful king has asked such a thing of any magician or enchanter or Chaldean. The thing that the king asks is difficult, and no one can show it to the king except gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh. Because of this, the king was angry and very furious. He was very furious and commanded that all the wise men of Babylon be destroyed. So the decree went out, and the wise men were about to be killed, and they sought Daniel and his companions to kill them. Then Daniel replied with prudence and discretion to Arioch, the captain of the king's guard, who had gone out to kill the wise men of Babylon. He declared, or he said to Arioch, the king's captain, quote, why is the decree of the king so urgent? Then Arioch made the matter known to Daniel. And Daniel went in and requested the king to appoint him a time that he might show the interpretation of the king. Next, God reveals Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Then Daniel went to his house and made the matter known to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, his companions, and told them to seek mercy from the God of heaven concerning this mystery, so that Daniel and his companions might not be destroyed with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then the mystery was revealed to Daniel in a vision of the night. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. Daniel answered and said, quote, blessed be the name of God forever and ever, to whom belong wisdom and might. He changes times and seasons. He removes kings and sets up kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who have understanding. He reveals deep and hidden things. He knows what is in the darkness, and the light dwells with him. To you, O God of my fathers, I give thanks and praise, for you have given me wisdom and might, and have made known to me what I ask of you. You have made known to us the king's matter. Therefore Daniel went into Arioch, whom the king had appointed to destroy the wise men of Babylon. He went and said thus to him, quote, do not destroy the wise men of Babylon. Bring me in before the king, and I will show the king the interpretation. Then Arioch brought in Daniel before the king in haste and said thus to him, quote, I have found among the exiles from Judah a man who will make known to the king the interpretation. The king declared to Daniel, whose name was Belshazzar, quote, are you able to make known to me the dream that I've seen and its interpretation? Daniel answered the king and said, no wise men, enchanters, magicians, or astrologers can show you the king the mystery that the king has asked. But there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries, and he has made known to King Nebuchadnezzar what will be in the latter days. Your dream and the visions of your head as you lay in bed are these. To you, O king, as you lay in bed, came thoughts of what would be after this, and he who reveals mysteries made known to you what is to be. But as for me, this mystery has been revealed to me, not because of any wisdom that I have more than all the living, but in order that the interpretation may be known to the king, and that you may know the thoughts of your mind. Next, Daniel dream. Quote, you saw, O king, and behold, a great image. This image, mighty and of exceeding brightness, stood before you, and its appearance was frightening. The head of this image was of fine gold, its chest and arms of silver, its middle and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, and its feet partly of iron and partly of clay. As you looked, a stone was cut out by no human hand, and it struck the image on its feet of iron and clay and broke them in pieces. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, the silver, and the gold all together were broken in pieces and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away so that not a trace of them could be found. But the stone that struck the image came a great mountain and filled the whole earth. This was the dream. Now we will tell the king its interpretation. You, O king, the king of kings, to whom the God of heaven has given the kingdom, the power and the might of the glory, and into whose hand he has given, wherever they dwell, the children of man, the beasts of the field, and the birds of the heavens, making you rule over them all. You are the head of gold. Another kingdom inferior to you shall rise after you, and yet a third kingdom of bronze, which shall rule over all the earth. And there shall be a fourth kingdom, as strong as iron, because iron breaks to pieces and shatters all things. And like iron that crashes, it shall break and crash all these things. And as you saw the feet and the toes, partly of potter's clay and partly of iron, it shall be a divided kingdom. But some of the firmness of iron shall be in it, just as you saw iron mixed with soft clay. As the toes of the feet were partly iron and partly clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly brittle. As you saw the iron mixed with soft clay, so they will mix with one another in marriage, mix with the seed of men. But they will not hold together, just as iron does not mix with clay. All right. Iron mixed with soft clay. And as the toes of the feet were partly iron and partly clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly brittle. You saw the iron mixed with soft clay, so will they mix with one another in marriage, but they will not hold together, just as iron does not mix with clay. And in the days of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that shall never be destroyed. This is where they're saying Jesus' kingdom or whatever. Nor shall kingdom be left to another people. It shall break in pieces all these kingdoms and bring them to an end, and it shall stand forever. Just as you saw that stone was cut from a mountain by no human hand, and that broke into pieces the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, and the gold. A great God has made known to the king what shall be after this. The dream is certain and the interpretation sure. Next, Daniel is promoted. Then King Nebuchadnezzar fell on his face and paid homage to Daniel and commanded that an offering and incense be offered up to him. Then the king answered and said to Daniel, truly, your God is God of gods and Lord of kings and a revealer of mysteries, for you have been able to reveal this mystery. Then the king gave Daniel high honors and many great gifts, and made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon, the chief prefect over all the wise men of Babylon. Daniel made a request of the king, and he appointed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over the affairs of the province of Babylon. But Daniel remained at the king's court. And that's the end of chapter 2. And that's the last one for 10. Look at that, exactly 1 hour. That's crazy. All right. So that is the end of the chapters for tonight. Let's see, what is today? Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday. All right. We will get through chapter 6 this week, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then next week we'll finish it. Lord willing, right? Did you see Globebusters? Bob Nodell died. I guess he was sick for a while. I don't know what happened. Nobody knows, or they're not saying. I don't know. But he was sick, I guess, and now he's gone. So anyway, Globebusters. Well, you're welcome, Grayson D. Thank you for being here. I will pray us out. And yeah, I'll pray us out, and we will wrap it up for tonight. I really like that chicken leg holder for the barbecue grill. It's awesome. It cooked them perfect, you guys. It didn't like burn. Okay, so there's 4 of the dogs, right? So I had, I don't know, maybe a dozen chicken wings on that rack. And as I'm carrying about 2 of them fell and hit the floor. I'm like, oh, well, they're just for the dogs anyway. So I put the rack on there, and then the ones for the dogs, the ones that fell on the ground, I made sure to just put them on the grill. Just in case maybe I want a chicken leg. I don't want the one that hit the floor. So I cooked 2 of them on the grill, and then the rest were on them holders. And the ones in the holders were cooked perfect and juicy and barbecued. And the ones that were on the grill were like hard and not so good. So anyway, that rack thing worked really good. All right. I don't usually cook chicken on the grill because, it's just, I usually don't. But anyway, that's a game changer, guys. Oh, guys, the boys liked it. All right, I'll pray us up. Heavenly Father, thank you for gathering us once again, and we thank you for all of our blessings. We give you praise and glory. Amen and amen. All right, so good night, ladies. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. And I hope tomorrow's awesome for everybody. I will, I might have an interesting story for you guys tomorrow night. Like I said, the strangest thing happened to somebody I know. And somehow I'm involved. So anyway, I'll tell you maybe that story tomorrow night. We ran into a possum on our wall. Kit was no so. What? Outside, I hope, right? Are you talking about an outside wall, right? Not a living room wall or a kitchen wall. You're intrigued? Okay. Yeah, it was so strange, you guys. Strange things happen, man. All right. So, as life is, huh? Oh, on your walk. Okay. A possum, huh? Those are the things that hang by their tail, right? I don't know if I've ever seen one up close. I don't know. They look scary. It was as big as a large. Really? They walk or waddle or what? I don't know. I don't want to run into one of those. We got a lot of wildlife. Oh, guess what we saw today? Today, Caleb, we were outside, and I was hauling things out to the garage. And Caleb was barking like crazy in the driveway at something. And I went over, it was a little tiny garden snake, and it was going through the water. It was swimming in the water in the driveway. Anyway, he spotted that thing. Yeah. There's a possum here I see once in a while. Really? You guys got him too? Yeah, I don't see him very often. I don't want to see one of the. Yeah, I've seen pictures of them hanging upside down by their tail. I think, don't they? Isn't that a possum? And they're the ones that play dead, right? They play possum. They play dead. You're surprised there wasn't a fight? I'm glad there wasn't, guys. I'm glad there was no fight. Stupid possum. But I think when they get scared, they play dead, don't they? Play possum. That's why they call it playing possum. They pretend they're dead, so you just go away. Hopefully, they're more scared of us than we are of them, because, yeah. Anyway. All right. Interesting. Yeah, I don't want to see one of those ugly things. There's a lot of things that look ugly, like the beaver. That's weird up close. A lot of things look weird up close. I don't want to see none of them up close, except my cats and dogs. All right. Well, ladies, have a good rest of the evening. Have an awesome day tomorrow. You do know some snakes play possum too? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, this snake he was trying to get away, he or she. It was a little skinny one. And it's weird because it had a weird color. It was whitish. It was kind of white. It was green, but kind of white. Like, I wonder if did it just get thawed out or something? Where'd this thing come from? And as it's trying to get away, it's going on the snow. That is so weird. Anyway, yeah. That's what I've heard about playing dead. Yeah, playing possum. Yeah, I think that's what they do. And that way the prey thinks they're dead, and just people do that too. People do that. Some people's lives have been saved because they played dead, and the killer just walked away. So that's good. It hasn't got its tan yet. Yeah, it was weird. Like, where do they go in the winter? They just dig a hole in the ground? I think I told you guys I was digging up dirt the other day. 2 days ago, I was shoveling dirt, and something moved, and it was a big fat toad. I unearthed a toad, a big fat one, like full grown. I'm thinking, what are you doing under there? Anyway, I think they're all coming out from the dirt. I don't know. And I'll tell you, one night, as soon as the water falls through the pond, I'm going to hear millions of frogs and crickets chirping. It is so amazing. All at once they start. It's like, I don't know if they all come out of the ground and one at once, and they all chirp really loud. I will record it. Yeah, circle of it. Yeah, it is weird. That is really weird. Like, did he go in the mud last fall? How long you been in there? Anyway, it was weird. Weird, I tell you, weird. All right. Weird, I tell you, weird. All right. Yeah, it said weird. Okay. All right. All right, ladies. Thank you so much for coming. You're always wonderful. And we'll catch you on the flip side. I've seen turtles hatch and crawl out of the sand. Yeah, I was cutting my grass last year, and they were twice. They were laying eggs in the sand. My son took spray paint and sprayed a circle around it so I wouldn't drive over it again. And then we went back and they were gone. So, anyway. Alright. Yeah, we got a lot of turtles around here. A lot. They come out of the pond, come and go. Lots of them. I see them when I'm cutting my grass. They like the driveway sand. Actually, any sand. That's a lamb. Barium. Alright. Alright, everybody. Thanks for coming. God bless you all. Love you guys. And hope to see you tomorrow night. Have a good rest of the evening and an awesome day tomorrow. Hallelujah and shalom. Love you too. Love you, Kathy. Love, prayers, blessings to you all. Have a blessed night sleep, D. Have a blessed night sleep, D. Have a blessed day, Pinch, Mr. and Mrs. Jay-Z, Michael Thomas. Yes. Good night to everybody for listening in the daytime, or thanks for listening on the replay too. We love you guys. Thank you all, and good night. Shalom. Glory to God. And